Thank you, Sandra. Yeah, is that taken? Did you get understanding to that?
Yes, 100%. Thank you so much.
Okay, okay. Let's just follow what Yahweh gave to us as the beginning of our year. Every year, we don't have two beginning of the years. It's just one. Beginning of our year is one, which begins March, April, which has to do with Passover. So thank you so much. Any other observation? Any other thing somebody want to comment or say, particularly this day? Yeah, anything anybody want to say? I'm hearing. All right, let's quickly tidy up with what we have today. What you want to discuss this morning or already afternoon. Right. Okay. Somebody help me. Or before then, before I will ask you to join me in some Bible reading, want us to understand what Yahweh's plan for us, because what we are dealing with today is also to cue into the plan of Yahweh. This is part of Yahweh's master plan for our salvation. Today, 2025 Feast of Trumpets, we are looking at what Yahweh said concerning, even from Torah to the prophets and to even what you call the writings, because the Old Testament or Old Covenant is divided into three. You have the Torah, you have the prophets, and you have the writings. All of these three, talk about Yahweh's feasts. Yahweh's feasts were given to us to get us prepared for salvation, the coming salvation of his people, not only Israelites. Anyone, anywhere who will listen to his voice, his instructions, will be partaker of his salvation, of his redemption, of the freedom that is about to give the world that today do not know him, do not serve him, do not worship him, and do not believe in him. The world he created, the world he made, and the world he asked human beings to take care of. Human beings sold themselves out to the adversary, and the adversary took everything. And that's why in Matthew chapter 4 and Luke chapter 4, the adversary told Yahshua HaMashiach that the whole earth had been given to him because he stole it from Adam and Eve, took it away from them. And he began to command and control, as it were, up to today. So humanity fell under his feet. And that's why they call God, 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 Lord, Lord, Lord. Even in different languages. In Hebrew, Elohim, Adonai, all those sorts of titles. All those are titles. So the adversary took it away, took all those titles from them, or from their mouth, or from what it were, and he assumed the position. He assumed to, bear those titles. And men began to worship the adversary in that way. And the instruction of Yahweh when he was taking Israelites from Egypt was not to go the way of the Gentiles that follow those titles, that bow to those titles. He specifically warned them that when they get into that land, they should not do what they were doing in Egypt. What were they doing? They were bowing to those titles, those idol names. That was what was, happening to the children of Israelites. And when they were in the wilderness, they always said, when you get into the land where you are going now, what you did in Egypt, don't do it in that land, because you are going to clear that land, you're going to cleanse that land, you're going to make that land a holy land, and you're going to live in that land without naming or calling or worshiping gods, idols, those Gentile titles. Don't go after them, don't bow to them. Now, where was this instruction kept? They will follow today, tomorrow, they will go back to disobedience. So when they got into the land, they ate, they drank, they, like Yahweh asked Moses to write, Song of Solomon, Song of Moses, Deuteronomy chapter 32. When you read it carefully, you will understand the message that you are passing on here today. That the cause and even why we are asked to celebrate this feast is to warn us, to instruct us to be careful. Because if we follow what Yahweh commands us to follow, to do, we will not fall prey to what is coming. Israelites in the land, they didn't hear, they didn't heed, they didn't follow. At the end, they fell into the hands of the adversary again, after Yahweh had delivered them from the adversary. Because Pharaoh acted as the living devil that held Israel captive. So Yahweh delivered Israel from, the hand of Pharaoh and all his foot soldiers. Took them to the land. Instead of clearing the people and taking possession and remain in the land and make the place a holy place to live, they now went close again. Embrace the people, embrace their religion, embrace even this title that Yahweh said, don't bow to them. They loved the Gentile religion so much that it got a point, Yahweh said, enough is enough. The same people that you follow, the same people who bow to their religion are the people that are going to deal with you. Now, in the days or the time of Daniel, Yahweh, through Daniel, explained to them who those nations are by empires. Successive empire that, was calibrated in Daniel chapter 2 came after Israelites. Yahweh made Nebuchadnezzar the chiefmost king on earth at that time to have a dream. That dream came from the Gentile leader of the world. And the child of Yahweh interpreted it. That is Daniel. Interpreted that dream. Now, having explained it to, was it for the Gentile people, the Gentile nation, the Babylonian king, Nebuchadnezzar? It's for him, but it's more for Israel to know, to understand that if they don't follow Yahweh, those nations, the empire of Babylon, the empire of Medes and Persia, the empire of Greece, the empire of Rome, Roman Empire, is going to swallow them. And what Yahweh told them came to pass. To the point, because when they, that is Israelites, refused to follow, to worship Yahweh himself, serve him, and they decided to serve the gods of those empires became their nightmare, became their trouble, held them in captivity, overthrew them, scattered them, and forced on them to bow to their gods, to their idols. That is what is happening to the people of Yahweh till today. In a summary, that is Israel for you. That is Israel not maintaining their status quo, not maintaining or living in their land, following Yahweh's way and calling his name, because they rebelled. Deuteronomy chapter 32 said they left Yahweh. Joel chapter 2 we read said they left Yahweh. All the prophets, the Torah itself spoke about this. And that was the reason. Living Yahweh was the reason they went into captivity. They were scattered, and they are living in nations up to today. That's why they are suffering. And that's why when they were coming out from Egypt, Yahweh now said, all these feasts, keep them, observe them. In it you will learn how you will return back to me. If you will pay attention, if you will be attentive to the instruction given, you will escape. In this Feast of Trumpets, is calling us to get prepared. Because if the trumpets is not blaring the sound that will bring us into the moment and time of peace or celebration, it will be warning us to get ready, because war is coming, sword is coming, famine is coming, pestilences is coming as a result of their disobedience. Ordinarily, the sound of trumpets would have been for celebration. It wouldn't have been for warning people to get ready to flee or to do this or to do that because enemy is on pursuit. No, it wouldn't have been that way. It would have been for celebration, for peaceful moment and peaceful time. It would have been heralding something, peaceful, good, celebration. It would have been trumpet that will, usher in moments of partying and enjoying themselves. So because of their disobedience, the second layer of, hunting, trouble, problem was added into what the tune of the trumpets will be bringing. Now, the trumpets has different notes. The sounds, depending on who is blowing and what the message the person is sending. If it's for coronation of king or doing anything that is celebration in the land, there is the tone from the trumpet that will let the people know, and the leaders will prepare the people or gather the people for that event. If the tone is warning them against invaders, against war, against trouble that will be coming into the land against them, the tone will also align on that way. So the blowing of trumpets has different, notes that it brings to let people know what they will be doing at that particular time. We read Joel chapter 2. Now, the blowing of the trumpets came in different ways. Yahweh was telling them how they deviated from him and how the land will no longer going to bring supplies, increase, and the infertility of the land will cause famine. Apart from that, the invaders, the enemies, the adversaries will come into the land to deal with them, to devour them. And in the end, the enemies will scatter them. And this is because they had followed idols of the Gentiles, the names of Gentile idols that they were worshipping. That was what infuriated Yahweh the more. And Yahweh said, because of that, they will fall and they will perish. Many will die, and few will be swept away, scattered into the Gentile world. I title what we want to listen to this afternoon as Prepare to Flee. Prepare to flee. Brethren, this is absolutely important, and